When the P-47 Thunderbolt first appeared over Europe, German pilots laughed. It looked big, clumsy and heavy, a flying barrel compared to their sleek Messerschmitts. They mocked it in radio chatter, calling it the milk bottle with wings. But the laughter didn't last. Moments later, the sky would erupt in thunder. 8 Browning .50 caliber machine guns firing in perfect unison. The German aces soon realized that what they thought was a joke was a monster. Stay until the end to discover how the P-47, once underestimated, became one of the most feared fighters of World War II, and how its roar changed the air war forever. In early 1943, when German pilots first encountered the P-47 Thunderbolt, their reactions were almost unanimous: disbelief. To them, this new American fighter looked oversized and unrefined. Compared to the sleek Bf-109 or FW-190, the Thunderbolt was enormous. It weighed nearly twice as much as many Luftwaffe interceptors. From the cockpit of a German fighter, the sight was almost comical. The P-47 was so large that pilots joked it must have been built around its engine. They believed no such aircraft could possibly climb, turn or fight effectively. But they were about to be proven wrong. The Jug takes flight. The heart of the Thunderbolt was the Pratt & Whitney R2800 Double Wasp, a massive radial engine that produced more than 2,000 horsepower. It wasn't elegant, it was raw power. That brute force gave the P-47 speed, altitude and resilience that shocked even its own pilots. At high altitudes, where many air battles over Europe were fought, the Thunderbolt could dive faster than anything else in the sky. And while its size made it seem easy to hit, its rugged construction made it incredibly hard to bring down. Many P-47s returned home riddled with bullet holes, their engines still running strong. That's when the laughter started to fade. 8 .50 caliber reasons to run. The Thunderbolt carried 8 Browning M2 .50 caliber machine guns, 4 in each wing. Together, they unleashed a storm of lead unlike anything the Luftwaffe had ever faced. A single 1-second burst could throw nearly 100 rounds toward a target, shredding anything in its path. German pilots who dared to attack head-on often didn't get a second chance. The P-47 could tear a Messerschmitt apart before the German even opened fire. And when the Thunderbolt dived, its weight became its weapon. At over 500 miles per hour in a dive, it was untouchable. Luftwaffe fighters that tried to chase it often lost control or broke apart from the strain. Soon, the same men who had mocked it now had a new nickname for it: Der große Teufel, the Big Devil, from escort to ground attack beast. The P-47's role expanded as the war went on. Initially designed as a high-altitude escort fighter, it later became one of the most effective ground attack aircraft of the entire war. Its 8 50s, along with bombs and rockets, made it a flying sledgehammer against German armour and convoys. By 1944, Thunderbolts were ravaging supply lines, trains and bridges across occupied Europe. German troops began to fear the distinct whistle of a diving P-47, followed by the roar of gunfire that left columns of smoke and destruction behind. Even if shot at, the plane could take incredible punishment. Stories spread of P-47s returning with cylinders blown off, tails shot through, and control surfaces shredded, yet still landing safely. The pilots who flew the Jug. American pilots affectionately called it the Jug, short for juggernaut. At first, some didn't like it. It was heavy, sluggish in turns, and lacked the agility of lighter fighters like the Spitfire. But over time, they learned to use its strengths: power, firepower, and toughness. Major Francis Gabby Gabreski, one of America's top aces, scored most of his victories flying the P-47. He said it could take you home when no other plane could. To Thunderbolt pilots, the aircraft became a symbol of endurance, of an engine that refused to quit and guns that never jammed when it mattered most. The German response. By late 1944, German command reports described the P-47 as a serious and unrelenting threat. Its speed in a dive and heavy armament made traditional dogfighting impossible. Luftwaffe squadrons began avoiding direct engagements. German mechanics started adding armor plates to their fighters' fuselages, desperate attempts to survive the Thunderbolt's firepower. But it was too little, too late. The laughter that once echoed over the radio frequencies was gone. Now there was only static and the distant rumble of radial engines. The Thunderbolt's legacy. By the end of the war, the P-47 had destroyed more than 7,000 enemy aircraft and tens of thousands of ground targets. It had become one of the most successful American fighters ever built. Its legacy lived on, not just in its victories, but in its lessons. Speed could be matched. Maneuverability could be improved, but durability and firepower, those were what won wars. The Germans had laughed once, but by the time the Thunderbolt's 8 guns opened fire, the joke was over. This is a true World War II story, because sometimes the most underestimated machines become legends. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments and subscribe for more true World War II stories.